At the palace, a teenager walked into the living room and saw two people discussing. Shu Jing, minister of the interior of Daqian dynasty, called out from afar, "Bei Wang, come here to greet to your future father-in-law." The middle-aged man sitting next to, who is the supervisor of the royal historian Shen Ge Bei Wang, respectfully performed the ceremony. "Mr. Shen, you are Shu Bei Wang, Shu Jing's son, coming from another modern space. On a sunny day, when he was a person of the modern world, he lie on his bed, 'My name is Shu Ge. 1 minute ago I was noble and bright Bai Yin.' He swipes his phone to receive the prize, but suddenly his face turned pale. He didn't expect that, as soon as you finished watching, Zhuzhou, then died at home, until he woke up and found that he had transformed into Shu Bei Wang. But he feel very lucky. Not just become a rich kid. His parents even arranged for him to marry a beautiful woman so that he could directly reach the pinnacle of his life." Shu Jing waved his hand and told his son to go meet the young lady of Shen family, Yi, his future wife. Hearing that, his eyes lit up with desire. Ahihi. Arrived, both talented and beautiful. After that, a person. Slowly walking was a young girl, who was beautiful but very worried face. Yi greeted Mr. Shu. However, Uncle Wang saw Yi. He was surprised. How could it be her? Then, he suddenly remembered scary something. Wait a minute. It turns out that I transmigrated into a dying villain in Ao Shu Jojo. It's not that the main male will never be a servant. In the future, he was killed by Yi's lover. Shu Bei Wang cries silently in his heart, "I traveled here to be..." The main male kills and reaches the top. He expresses very confused. He finds the way, quickly get away this girl to preserve life and wealth. He turned around to apologize to the master of the family surnamed Mr. Shen. "Mr. Shen, I know I am not worthy of your young lady. Please help me to change to someone else, please." The two elders were surprised and did not understand who was being changed. He smiled shyly. Under the astonished eyes of Yi, he said, "Anyone can, except her." Shu Jing was angry and banged on the table. Insolent. He blamed him for not knowing how to respect others. "Maybe. Do you really think you are worthy of the young lady of Shen House? He is a martial arts genius mid-tier masterpiece. The next day, it will definitely enter the 10th Qingyun table and you are only upper 9th rank. Still need our help." We gave him countless new pills to raise him, but Bei Wang was also very helpless after hearing that. Why did Dad suddenly say these things? I don't want to marry her. I also have my reasons. He silently thought, "I'm saving your son's life, please don't make a mess." Shu Bei Wang seriously said, "Mr. Shen, your young lady has someone in her heart, and I want to cancel the engagement." Shu Jing trembles with anger. "No, you can't cancel the marriage, because if you refuse to marry of the eldest princess, the entire Shu family will die." Suddenly Shu Bei Wang. Startled, the system suddenly appeared. "Welcome to the world of fiction Ao Shu Jojo. It is the system of the air tower." Shu Bei Wang thought complacently, this is the right way, not knowing the quality of traveling through time. It has activated the system called the Tower of Air, also sounds very formidable. It continues to announce, the system can allow the owner to observe the brightness of the air tower above other people's heads to judge their fate and fortune. At the same time, opponent's air tower was defeated by the master. The better the reward the owner gets. Shu Bei Wang secretly thought, the more powerful the person you deal with, the higher the reward you get. Suddenly, he was stunned. Wait a minute. Shu Bei Wang looked over there. Something seems wrong. Air tower near Yi is quite high, reaching 82 floors. He is very uncomfortable. Isn't she one of the male lead's wives? 82 floors I can understand. But why a servant serving tea also made him dissatisfied? Why even a guy serving tea also has higher luck than me? Get 25 floors. Meanwhile, the Tower of Fortune of Shu Bei Wang has only 5 floors, make him collapse. This unlucky body with a system I can't beat Ye Tian. Mr. Shen saw that he was depressed, so he spoke up. Xian Dian, please stop causing trouble. We just follow the will of the eldest princess. Just do it. You will remember that person. That's right. The eldest princess. The royal daughter. The 5th most noble of the 9 provinces. Her martial arts are profound and unpredictable, and she has a group of loyal forces under her command, spread throughout the royal court and the folk. She also has a mysterious sect called Fang Kui inside the training of masters and top assassins. He suddenly ran away to another place, making Xu Jing not understand. Naughty. What are you going to do? Bei Wang excitedly ran out. I have a way to continue living. His way is to make decoration at the foot of the eldest princess. In other words, silently hug the princess's thigh to prolong the life, to the residence of the eldest princess. Only seen on the stairs, there is a long line of people waiting. This makes him feel surprised. Are there so many people? He was sharp-eyed and discovered another thing. That was the eunuch, who closes to the eldest princess, Yu Eunuch. A third-grade grandmaster, he came up with a plan. He immediately ran to ask Yu Eunuch for help. Salute and introduce yourself. I am Xu Wang. I have something to see the eldest princess. After saying that, Bei Wang took out a large stack of silver. Please understand. Yu Eunuch secretly agreed and got silver into the lapels. Whether in modern or ancient time, time is money indeed. Finally, he got to meet the eldest princess. Greetings, princess. A beautiful woman has extraordinary temperament sitting above. She is the 5th princess of Da Tian. Bei Wang was fascinated at first sight. She began to assess the petitioner below. If you look again, I will also take you to the purification room. All the images that Bei Wang had just took in were immediately erased. Oh dear princess, please spare my life, I know I was being rude. He quickly kowtowed to apologize to the goddess who descended to earth. I just admire. Absolutely no offense intended. She asked, Who are you? Bei Wang carefully answered, Yes, my name is Xu Wang. A few days ago you granted me a marriage. The princess looked at him. I remember. Xu Wang's appearance is considered handsome. Unfortunately, the country is too weak. He felt unhappy about her assessment. Who can compare to her? You are a big Lapos villain who keeps the ending, and I in the book progress am less than 110. She waved. If you came to thank me, then get out. I don't have time to listen to your nonsense. He immediately begged, I wanted a treasure, but in his heart, he thought, thank what? The Grand Princess couldn't figure out his intentions. She said that no one had ever dared to come and demand rewards from her palace before. What can you possibly prescribe for me? He has heard some very important news. It seems to be accurate. Young master of the Qingyun family has already signed a pact with MIMA. The Grand Princess seemed a bit doubtful. Really? Xu Wang has expressed his sincerity. If the information is wrong, I am willing to atone with my life. In this world, Da Qian and evil can't coexist under the same sky. Mr. Qingyun is an important hunting dog of the Crown Princess. The main male character in the novel has accidentally discovered this, then he has benefit from both sides. The princess suppressed the anger of the people. She had to put Qingyun's family in jail. Not only lost an important chess piece, but also lost face. Jinchang's face did not change. Dare to raise a ghost? Then it must be died without doubt. She looked intently at Xu Wang, kneeling on the ground respectfully, asked in a low voice, You have done your job. What do you want? His face suddenly turned red, slightly greedily answering that I want. His voice was a bit hesitant. He raised his head and hinted, brightly continued, Want a bottle of patience. At the same time, he was still very rational in his heart. Compared to trivial desires, life was still more important. To those who did not know, a bottle of patience was a medicine, can increase combat power several times. At the same time, it can maintain continuously, no side effects. Jin Chang was satisfied and took out 3 bottles of medicine. There was a bottle of patience. He took it and could not hide his joy. Thank you. In his heart, he secretly thought that the big boss is indeed a big boss. Is she very satisfied with his attitude, signaled, I allow you to choose another bottle. He laughed non-stop. Take a bottle of Broken Scene Single. Xu Wang didn't forget to say thank you. You are too polite. Seeing him so happy, she curiously asked a question. Are you in danger? Can you solve it? Xu Wang suddenly became confused and replied, It is very difficult. If you help me, I am extremely grateful. Hearing the answer did not suit her, Jin Chang immediately became angry, clapped her hands, and shouted, "Useless!" seeing her so majestic. Shu Wang immediately broke out in sweat like rain. He was scared and hurriedly ran, but still don't forget to say goodbye. He walked under the harshness of noon. He thought of Jin Chang's white legs, and secretly thinking now he is also considered as a hair on the princess's legs. Then wait until he can hug the princess's thigh, then it will be good. End of association. He still walked full of confusion. In his head, he wondered if the engagement could be cancelled yet. Why was he still so scared? Suddenly, two families appeared and dragged him away. Seeing his face full of confusion, they explained, You have already outside. The master asked us to give you to Tai Bai Tower. Shu Wang still vaguely shouting, What are you doing at Tai Bai Tower? Have been to Tai Bai Tower. Have been to Tai Bai Tower. In contrast to the scene outside, there was very bustling. Everyone who saw him raised their glasses to toast the deep brother-wife relationship. It really made people admire. Shu Wang went from one surprise to another, not knowing what to say. He glanced at Wu Yi in a formal dress, wearing a red veil. He immediately shouted, What are you doing? Shu Jing heard and walked over, pointing at him. Shout what? It is ordered a wedding party. He was startled after hearing it. He couldn't help but feel scared. Blame me that I died not fast enough. At that moment, the male lead in the novel, Ye Tian, who has just shouted, holding a sharp sword, rushed forward and said, Go die. But when he saw Wu Yi blocking in front of him, Shu Wang shouted loudly, Stop then stop! He angrily said loudly, Wu Yi, you avoided. I had to kill this traitor Shu Wang. Shen Yi had a sad expression, avoided his eyes and replied, I don't know you. You go. But in her heart, she worried about him. Ye Tian quickly goes, There are too many experts in this place, you can't kill him. Ye Tian seemed to understand Shen Yi's meaning, but frowned even more angrily, grinding his teeth and saying, Wu Yi, if even the person I love can't even protect, what's the point of cultivating the Tao above his head? He suddenly appeared with the number 97, his body radiating a kind of mysterious dark air, declaring that Ye Tian is willing to become a demon. Seeing Ye Tian before the eyes, Shu Wang suddenly speechless. Feeling like collapsing in my head, 97 floors. Damn, as expected of the male lead. About to exceed the threshold, he thinks a little bit. If I keep going head on, it's not good. I must find down a way, returning to reality. He immediately held Shen Yi's hand and said, Wu Yi, is this your friend? It made Shen Yi startled and tremble, looked at him and thought, Can't avoid. Shen Yi continues to think, if she lets the princess knows that I refuse this marriage, the whole Shen family will die. Seeing the two holding hands, Ye Tian was angry with jealousy. He rushed to his mouth and kept shouting, You let her go. He rushed forward while thinking, the scene that I killed Shu Wang. Thinking to myself, you have no idea what kind of existence I have. I am a person blessed by heaven. Blessings have countless opportunities falling from the sky. In the future, I will definitely stand on the clouds and look down on Juzhou. Ye Tian's eyes, becoming colder, screaming loudly, You went to die. He suddenly became more flexible, emitting a pressure that made people see. As expected, he was scared. At that time, everyone present was wide-eyed and open-mouthed, admiring the formidable sword energy that can absolutely kill a level 8 realm. Ye Tian's sword slashed, but Shu Wang used 2 fingers to block it. His demeanor at that time was full of confidence. Pinch the sword and ask, Ye Tian, do you want to kill me? Bei Wang's eyes were somewhat cold. He directly used force to crush the sword. Continue speaking. Dream on. Due to the inertia of the counterattack, Ye Tian also flew out. He struggled to stab the broken sword into the ground to keep his balance, but still couldn't hide his trembling and can't believe that how could it be like that? He frowned. He's just a piece of trash. Who eats a bunch of medicine? How can it be so powerful? Ye Tian regained composure, standing up with difficulty, seeing that Shu Wang, the whole body radiated. The majestic and provocative aura said, Do I allow you to stand up? Kneel down for me. At the same time, he made Ye Tian fall down again after standing up, seeing the provocative expression of Shu Wang. Ye Tian's face suddenly turns pale, listening to him. Is the strength that you are proud of? In the cheers of everyone, Mr. Shu is really formidable. Too strong. Shu Wang, remember again the appearance of Jin Chang giving medicine. He smiled lightly, thinking to himself that luckily I was prepared. He changed to different look, switched to calculating cunning. The princess is indeed a great elder. Polypharmacy is also high-end. This thigh I must hug. Suddenly Shen Uyi is behind, grabbed his arm and begged, Mr. Shu, look at my face, please. Please forgive him. Shu Wang leaned to avoid questioning. Respecting you, are you worthy? He glanced at Shen Uyi, expressing disgust, thinking secretly, if you are not having an affair, then want to marry me. I must be in such danger. When Shu Wang, distracted, Ye Tian stood up. His body exudes a terrifying, unhappy aura. Screaming, Shu Yi, don't beg him! Everyone saw his appearance, chatting loudly. Look quickly, that brat's true energy has broken through, fighting and destroying the scene. What a cruel person. Seeing the situation like this, Shu Wang's face did not change and said, come and take out a bamboo stick. It's a kind of weapon according to what you read. In the novel about martial vein-path, Shu Wang is very normal, but the only thing that stands out is zither technique. Shu Wang held the bamboo stick and thought to himself, take advantage. There are also supportive medicines. End it quickly. Ye Tian's eyes looked at him. It looked scary. At the same time, he also broke through to the 8th grade lower grade. The pressure radiating from him seemed to be strengthened, causing the confident affirmer, the evil bandit. Today you're dead for sure. You see the breakthrough of him seemed to be furious. Damn it, is this okay? The proud son of heaven? What's so terrible? The two of you fight like water and fire in harmony. Shu Wang looked down and sneered, do you think so? After speaking, he immediately waved his hand and plucked. The strings were plucked by him. Touching seemed to have a force attack towards Ye Tian, but he, feeling like prevented. Don't let Ye Tian be complacent. Shu Wang immediately determined, stop. You are the one favored by heaven. I am physically unlucky. What can you do to me? Today, Mr. Shu must cut off your dog's head. Determination appeared on his face. The more force is used, the stronger the force is transferred. At this time, the airflow is becoming more and more powerful. Flying towards Ye Tian. He seemed to sense danger, frowning in surprise but still not giving in. I cannot die. Ye Tian was not convinced and thought, I have not yet traveled all the Juzhou. I have not yet seen any living beings. I absolutely cannot die here. There is suddenly a yellow object quickly flew towards Ye Tian. It flew forward him, suddenly released a mysterious air current. Ye Tian catched up. The sudden appearance in the sky has a crack. Shu Wang saw it, dissatisfied and forced mouth. Is there anyone who can help this first-class immortal Ye Tian? Ye Tian was suddenly sucked up by the crack. Under everyone's astonished eyes, his shadow was sucked up, can still be seen until the crack closes. At this moment, Wang's eyes flashed a light. He thought to himself. He had blocked the attack but had used too much energy. That soul would also fall into this late temporary deep sleep state, will not come out anymore. At this time, the system announces, the master defeats the son of fate, won the spoils for the owner. Wang felt surprised about the spoils of war and thought to himself, I don't know. In the spoils, is there a jade pendant? Suddenly, his face became sly. Yes, although I am physically unlucky, but I can still plunder the spoils, as long as I can cut the lucky lords like cutting chives. Isn't it true that I can have whatever I want? At this moment, the calling voice came back. Wang Er. How are you? Are you hurt? Shu Jing and his wife ran over. Uncle Wang smiled and replied, I'm fine. It's a pity to let that brat run away from the people around the young master's praise. Martial arts are very powerful. Later, young master, remember to protect us. Listen to those compliments. Wang was also very happy in his heart, responding, Okay, there is nothing fun today. Everyone disperse. Everyone started to leave. Only Shen Yi is still trembling there without saying anything. Wang spoke up and asked, If you have something to say it quickly. If you don't say it, then go. Shen Yi opened his mouth to beg, Please forgive. As long as you don't kill Ye Tian, I'm willing to marry you, whatever you want. Her eyes looked pitiful. Bei Wang turned around and left. Said again, "From tomorrow, you should move to Shu Palace." The corner of his mouth curled into a smile, thinking to himself, with such a perfect tool in hand, why be sad? Ye Tian didn't come to give a red envelope. Ha ha ha. My ultimate goal, the heavenly chance, can change the continent of the 9 states. Shu Bei Wang walked and calculated, now the key task to achieve. The main goal is to hold on to that princess's thighs. The next day, at Shu Palace, Bei Wang was sitting at the table doing something. He looked at the jar on the table and said, now is the time to witness the miracle. He threw the sword practice book aside and said to me, without sword practice, this is useless to me. Then he picked up a fragment. This fragment. Seeing the broken pieces, Bei Wang thought to himself, it seems he has to collect enough fragments. He can enter the secret realm to obtain the most precious item. He held the fragments and smiled. I can't do it. I need to rely on Ye Tian. Bei Wang continued to pick up the small bottle. This is also Daixin Tia Ru. I need this. Suddenly a wisp of smoke. Flying out, he repeated what he just said. This is also Daixin Tia Ru. I need this. The smoke took him into another space. Shu Bei Wang started to take off his clothes. Then, Bei Wang shouted loudly, Daixin Tia Ru. He closed his eyes and formed a seal around, appeared yellow light. A moment later, Bei Wang opened his eyes and looked at his body, smiled and said, this medicine can increase the refinement speed of the waste body. TT is the elixir of evolution. I want a body. Immortality. Suddenly he was surprised. So this is the feeling of rebirth. On the table, it has a small bottle and a piece of paper. Bei Wang picked up the paper and almost forgot. There is a talisman that hides the body. The talisman is a good talisman. The only thing is that the hiding time is too short. There is also a self-destructing talisman. No hidden effect on 4th grade or higher experts. At this moment, he regretfully thought that if he had a jade pendant, he could learn it. Ye Tian's devouring great law. But he remembered the scene. Ye Tian was fighting with the monster. Bei Wang leisurely closed his eyes and laid on the chair. Ye Tian. Hope you can try a little so that I can soon advance to the supreme realm. Suddenly, Shu Bei Wang opened his eyes with a start. Not right, only rely on him alone, my supreme path. How long must I wait for? He touched his bag. Not even a bunch of chives is not enough to cut. Must find more luck. The more the better, but where to find them? Suddenly, he thought of something. There's a way. Bei Wang recalls a novel, in which the mother of the original owner bought him a position in Liu Shanmen. This guy has not yet taken up the position. What a waste of resources. I will not be like that. He smiled lightly. In Liu Shanmen, who capture people or are captured, there are many masters. Finding 2 bunches of chives shouldn't be difficult. Suddenly there was the sound of a husband beating. It's all done already. So slow, and useless man. Go away. Bei Wang turned around and asked cautiously, who are you? You see a beautiful girl, who is an expert, ranked 9th on the Qingyun board. The gangster called one of the 4 great constables of Liu Shanmen Shimen, Yin Yue, patrol team leader. She coldly smiled and replied, the title Shimen Yin Yue is worth knowing for a rookie like you? Go away! Bei Wang thought to himself that if he said chives, chives would come right away. I have to. Try to see if you can hit it, he said provocatively. I really don't know if he'll get lost. Why don't you set an example? Seeing his pitiful expression, Shimen Yin Yue was determined to teach him a lesson. She shouted loudly, you dare to cause trouble. Do you want to die in the patrol team? I'm being serious before I finished. The hidden weapon in her hand flew out Bei Wang facing. In a flash, many meanings flashed through his mind, but he was still confident in his ability. Just test her level, Shu Bei Wang gathered spiritual power into his palm and punched out, compressing the air in front of him to create an invisible wind blocking incoming hidden weapons. The people around saw the fight, immediately started to discuss. Fuck, isn't this? Did Shu Bei Wang show up at Tai Bai Tower yesterday? He thought cutting a blade of grass yesterday was great. The patrol team is a 7-rank Tingfeng, the 9th genius of the Qingyun list. He also dared to fight back. No one believed that Bei Wang could withstand Yinyue's attack. Seeing the noisy crowd outside affecting his concentration, Shimen Yinyue angrily scolded, "Talking too much, I castrate everyone." After they heard, immediately fell silent and did not dare to say another word. Back to the battle, Shimen Yinyue was attacking during thinking that teaching this brat was as easy as turning her hand, but it wouldn't be good if outsiders saw her patrol team beating people. She thought that fighting was a small matter, but the reputation of the organization couldn't be affected by personal decisions. Thinking of this, she suddenly stopped. Seeing the opponent act like that, Bei Wang was trying to resist and felt surprised. Not fighting anymore? Although he didn't understand the reason behind it, he also breathed a sigh of relief and secretly thanked. Luckily, they didn't have to fight anymore. They couldn't fight back at all. Shimen Yinyue found a reason to justify it. Anyone who doesn't wear the patrol team's uniform will be fined 3 months' salary. After saying that, she grabbed Zhu Bei Wang by the collar, not giving the other party a chance to fight back. "Come here, I have something to ask you." She pulled Bei Wang away. In a different direction from the crowd watching the excitement, face filled with confusion. "I don't know what the two of them are going to do." The two of them just came to a quiet building. When the door closed, there was a sound from inside. Fierce argument, Shimen Yinyue pretended to threaten. "If you dare to oppose me, I will make you a cripple." Yinyue glared at Zhu Bei Wang, showing the air of a ruler. But Bei Wang was not easy to tease. He frowned and replied, "I hate being threatened by others the most." Facing this air, Yinyue appeared unhappy, as if thinking of something. Suddenly, she suppressed herself and turned her face away. Shimen Yinyue opened her mouth to remind, "The Book of the Heavenly Secrets has not been updated yet. You rely on the evil way to act arrogantly and forget how much ability you have." Ignore these words. Bei Wang intends to say goodbye. "If the 6-fan gate is fine, I'll go." This action rekindled the anger that had just been extinguished in Shimen Yinyue. She angrily turned around and ordered in one breath, "Yesterday, that first-class Holy Spirit. Moreover, Ye Tian has already told me in detail about the news related to you." She said in one breath. Zhu Bei Wang thought to himself, so it turns out to be asking about this. Now he understood Shimen Yinyue's true purpose. He pretended to be pitiful. "Talking about this, I immediately felt angry that I was a fool whose wife was stolen and it wasn't enough. I almost lost my life and asked the team leader to help me avenge." Witnessing the other party's expression that can no longer be faked, Shimen Yinyue shouted, "Speak honestly, don't play dumb with me." She pointed at Zhu Bei Wang. "The appearance of a Saint Realm strongman is not beneficial to the Imperial court. We must catch him. You are my subordinate. I will definitely help you." Zhu Bei Wang pretended to be overjoyed. He said, "Thank you very much, my team leader. I will immediately go investigate." However, in his heart, he continuously despised the other party's behavior. Because he has seen through the other party and still eat emotional games, he despised. The news of such an important Saint Realm strongman, how could I tell you, a flatterer of the Empress. It would be strange if Princess didn't strangle me. He secretly pleased. Moreover, Ye Tian is my chive, I can't tell you. Suddenly, someone shouted to the group leader. The eldest princess summoned Zhu Bei Wang to see that he was saved. Zhu Bei Wang happily waved his hand. "Goodbye, Shimen Yinyue. I will take my leave." This made her very angry, but she had to endure it. A moment later, at the palace, Zhu Bei Wang saluted Jinchong and wished the princess peace after listening to the report. At this time, the princess was lying on her back, looking at her confidant kneeling in front of her. "Your news is very valuable. The young man from Kui's family has been dealt with." Suddenly, 2 of her fingers moved. An orange object flew out. Seeing the sparkling red object flying towards her, Zhu Bei Wang excitedly laughed and said, "I am extremely grateful, thank you, princess. That precious item is a token, a pass to meet the princess, divided into 7 levels: red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Indigo purple is the highest, given to the red token. Finally, there is a way to hug the thigh." Zhu Bei Wang continued to think. A red magic flag flew over, along with Jin Chang's words. This exorcism flag is also given to you. Shu Wang happily received it and said, "Thank you." He reached out to receive a red smoke that wrapped around Shu Wang's finger, making his index finger bleed. With more strength, take the demon essence in the body of the evil spirit. Then, pump in abundant true qi to refine into a flag. Shu Wang frowned. The corner of his mouth raised, complacently received this high-grade item with this flag. In a situation where the difference in strength is not large, can also easily suppress high-grade evil spirits, the worst national foundation has also been improved, not bad, Princess, Jin Chang said. Shu Wang smiled and replied, "To do my best for your highness. I do not dare to be lazy every day." He expected to ask, "Is there any other reward?" But the answer to his expectation was 2 words from the mouth of the charming Princess Jin Chang. "Go away." Hearing that, Shu Wang awkwardly smiled, then found an excuse to sneak away. Anyway, it was still early, temporarily not returning to Liu Shanmen to avoid those girls coming to cause trouble again. He remembered that there were quite a few treasures in the south. Shu Wang happily went out, strolled in the bustling commercial area. Suddenly he noticed a young man, Luck 32, buying something. "Boss, I want to buy this inkstone." After that young man finished buying, his luck suddenly skyrocketed to 92, causing Shu Wang to be startled and not dare to believe his eyes. The boss wanted this. He hurriedly ran to grab that special inkstone, making both the young man and the shop owner stunned. Shu Wang thought to himself, "This is a great treasure, which can make the value of luck from 32 directly jump to 92. Seeing that, the lucky young man was angry and told him to hold it first. How can he rob it? The shop owner was embarrassed and didn't know what to do. To get this precious item, Shu Wang smiled and took out a powerful command token and said, "Gaofeng order. The eldest princess is here to patrol." Hearing this, the lucky young man turned into an unlucky one, his face pale, so scared that he didn't dare to do anything. "I won't be polite and take this inkstone." Shu Wang gave the shopkeeper 2 bills and happily left, leaving the young man with 32 luck feeling depressed. Did I dig up the hidden fexture of the system? Not bad. That's right. If luck suddenly increases, it means that there will be a chance soon. Looking at the inkstone, Shu Wang remembered the beautiful appearance and figure of Shimen Yinyue. What kind of chance is it? Should I try to catch that old man? The scene changed to a warm and sunny place. White clouds gently drifting in the sky, the sunlight shining down on Liu Shanmen. Inside, Shimen Yinyue was unhappy, scolding Shu Wang. "Why are you back so late?" "Team leader, I have been waiting for you for a long time. I brought Sun from the suburbs. A level 6 pig demon appeared and injured someone. Tonight, I will lead people to eliminate the demon." But Shu Wang replied, "I will not follow Liu Shanmen's rules. My level is not qualified to go." Hearing that, Shimen Yinyue looked at. She seriously replied, "Now you are the elite of our team. This team leader wanted to train you, specially commanded you not to disappoint this team leader. At that time, if I did not fight the demon and implicated the team leader, what should I do if I was swallowed by the demon?" Shu Wang smiled and approached Shimen Yinyue, asked, made her surprised, and said that she used her official duties to take revenge for herself, clearly out of this world. Who would not know that the smile in return was another dangerous smile? Liu Shanmen's orders must be absolutely obeyed, but Shu Wang did not show weakness. He smiled and said to the group leader Shimen Yinyue, "Don't take the narrow path." Hearing that, Shimen Yinyue frowned slightly. "This time, if you don't go, you have to go. Of course, if you are not satisfied with me, you can go find the commander to report me. You can also go to complain to the eldest princess." After saying that, Shimen Yinyue coldly turned around and left Shu Wang in an angry mood. This brat is deliberately acting pretentious, really arrogant. I haven't loved yet. Tonight, I have to bring more people. This treasure, I haven't studied how to use it yet. Shu Wang anxiously stared at the inkstone he had just obtained, not knowing what to do. Shu Wang hurriedly went to find help. The scene moved to the first palace, a very beautiful place with lush green trees sparkling under the sunlight. seeing the order. In Shu Wang's hand, Yu eunuch helplessly smiled awkwardly. Mr. Shu has paid his respects too many times. Isn't this because he's afraid that our princess will forget? Showing up a little more will give you a sense of presence. Shu Wang happily replied. Hearing that, Yu eunuch also smiled and welcomed. The crown princess is still at the horse racing track, follow me. In a nearby courtyard, Princess Jin Chang was riding a horse, holding a whip in her hand, looking very determined. A ball flew over. Shu Wang looked at it admiringly. What a good shot. The image of the fifth Jin Chang was exquisite, with a dignified air appearing. Shu Wang looked at the fifth Jin Chang infatuatedly. Shu Wang held a box and walked towards Jin Chang, saying, "This is a small object that this humble servant wants to pay his respects to." Jin Chang just looked coldly and replied, "Your eyes are also somewhat useful. You know how to judge goods. Ordinary people don't know this is..." "One." Wang smiled brightly and said, "Otherwise, would I dare to come find you?" Jin Chang pointed at the box in his hand and said, "This inkstone is ordinary, but inside is sealed a large magic formation." Shu Wang asked doubtfully, "Is it a formation?" Jin Chang directly said, loudly, "Stupid." Surrounded by red air currents. Wang stared at the box in his hand and thought to himself, "Is this the legend of dripping blood to recognize the master?" White smoke spread in the air as red as fresh blood. Inside appeared an object like an iron cage. A voice said that this cage can suppress your opponent. Make the opponent's true energy and your true energy be at the same level. But if it exceeds the same level of the 6th grade, the formation of the cage can be destroyed and cannot be suppressed. Of course, there are exceptions. The small red iron cage, in the palm of Wang's hand. He opened his mouth and said, "Thank you, Your Highness." Shu Wang. Shu Wang was excited and secretly thought that if a bronze ranker like him, he couldn't beat a gold ranker, he could use this inkstone to drag the opponent from gold rank to bronze rank, then use his skillful bronze rank operations to defeat him. Jin Chang was unhappy. She grabbed the whip and flew Wang up into the sky. She said, "Such a lewd smile is really an eyesore, get out." In a moment, Wang fell like a shooting star. The people around were extremely surprised. With a bang, a large lake was dug on the ground. Shu Wang quickly regained his composure and flew up, saying, "The scenery in the sky is really beautiful." The people around were shocked and said, "Is it a fairy or a monster?" Wang proudly said, "The protective power of that inkstone is really powerful. Like this, didn't fall to die, but he absolutely cannot anger the princess if he really makes her mad. If he really beats himself to death, he can only eat vegetarian food." Shu Wang walked among the crowd, chatting excitedly. Everyone said that. At such a young age, he was already able to go to the sky to enjoy the scenery. Looking at them and then looking at us, we can't compare. Shu Wang took out a talisman from his shirt. He remembered Shimen Yinyue's arrogant appearance and thought to himself, "Now I have a formation to suppress my true energy and a talisman to hide myself. I'm not sure I'm not your opponent. And a talisman to hide myself. I'm not sure I'm not your opponent." He held the talisman even tighter. "You provoke me first. The one who provokes others first is the villain." At night, Shimen Yinyue was patrolling with Shu Wang. But she was a little worried. Why did this brat suddenly become so calm? Shouldn't he be afraid and beg for my forgiveness? She picked up a stone and looked at it. There were strange patterns carved on the stone, emitting light purple smoke. Wang opened his mouth and said that the pig demon was nearby. We split up to find. Yinyue heard the waves and replied, "Once you meet a demon, immediately pump our true energy into it. I will sense it and come save you." Wang said smugly, "I guess the team leader will definitely be late at that time." Yinyue retorted, "Don't talk nonsense. If you dare to run away halfway and make my team lose face, I will definitely not forgive you." In her heart, she thought, "You brat. If I want to discipline that person, what can you do to me?" Then Wang respectfully clasped his hands and said, "Your subordinate completely relies on the team leader." Yinyue folded her hands and replied, "It's good that you understand." She thought to herself, "Are you afraid now? It's too late, but I can't let you lose your life." Losing an arm or a leg would make me happy. Her feet left the ground and flew up to the sky, left Bei Wang. At that time, Bei Wang looked at Yin Yue and thought, although there is no one else here, but I can't touch her carelessly. She can be the leader of the guard team. She must have the ability. If I attack her directly, I won't have the advantage. I should still sneak attack. It's safer. He heard a noise and turned his head to look. Is it here? Suddenly, a ferocious level 50 wild boar appeared. It said that stupid humans will die. He focused his mind and took out an object. Shu Wang transferred his strength. He swung the brick into the air, crossed his arms, and rapped the red air. Bei Wang thought to himself, it's clearly a cute pig that doesn't study well, but learns from others to become a monster. His eyes firmly looked at it and said, go away. Then he threw the object at it. Making it mad with anger, the pig demon angrily looked at Bei Wang. Seeing that it was unharmed, Shu Wang secretly laughed. Isn't it a standard 6th stage? Is that all? After a while, the pig demon only left a hum, then started using the clone technique. It cloned itself around Shu Wang, laughing loudly, ha ha ha, you can't find me la la. Bei Wang stood in its encirclement, just looking and thinking. Then he smiled sarcastically and said, Piglet, your loophole. A stream of air shot straight out. Its clone was cut to pieces by Bei Wang's magic. Seeing this situation, the pig demon was both terrified and shouted loudly, what? Seeing it tremble, Bei Wang waved his hand to call. You come here. Shu Wang stood opposite it and looked at it and laughed smugly. You fool. I've opened the hack. Distinguishing between real and fake is just a small matter. It looked blankly, its eyes filled with fear. Bei Wang didn't hesitate, he thought. Deal with it first and then do the main thing. After that, he flew up and charged towards it. Suddenly the air tower still appeared 97, Bei Wang said in surprise. Like that, scholar? Could this pig also have a chance? How could he meet a treasure and a good opportunity? The demon pig saw that Shu Wang was just standing still and laughing smugly. It madly charged forward, shouting loudly, you stinky brat! Go die for me! Bei Wang secretly laughed, raised his hand, and created a golden Tao magic, said that the dead are humans. The golden aura simultaneously charged towards the demon pig and several rocks were flipped over. Seeing that, it was startled, and then it was sent flying away by that move. Its eyes showed fear. It calculated that it really couldn't fight back. Hurry up and run. In the end, it was scared and ran away in the blink of an eye. But how could Bei Wang easily ignore it? He immediately flew up and chased after it. Do you think you can escape? Bei Wang held a brick that was emitting a red aura, seeing it running like someone was chasing it. Suddenly, the thing in Shu Wang's hand cracked. The surrounding stones flew up. Bei Wang was surprised. He thought the inkstone was cracked. How could that be? Before he finished speaking, he already felt something. Looking back at the pig's luck tower, it was 90. He secretly guessed that this pig's luck tower was about to explode at the foot of the mountain. There must be a great opportunity. Bei Wang happily laughed and flew up to chase after the demon pig. He turned his head and looked around, ran frantically, thought, is this kid crazy? I rolled down the mountain and he's still chasing me. At the foot of the mountain, a strange object surrounded by immortal energy. Bei Wang was overjoyed. The opportunity was indeed here. He quickly rushed down, raised his hand. If the opportunity had found him, then you would no longer be of any use, smiled, and used magic to point straight at it. The demon pig was hit by Bei Wang's move, screaming miserably. After defeating the demon pig, he slowly approached the object he had just seen. Looking at it, he guessed that this was the essence. Why are the eyebrows so big? It's the essence. He repeated it once. The strange essence was like a long, straight hair. It was floating in that golden halo. Bei Wang held it in his hand and said happily, it's in my hand. Then he stood there, arms crossed, grinning happily. It was even better than those treasures that suddenly had essence in his hand. Started to move. Bei Wang smiled and grabbed the yellow spiritual energy strands in front of him. What are you running for? Don't be in a hurry. The yellow spiritual energy in Bei Wang's hand suddenly evaporated into a white smoke and disappeared. Bei Wang closed his eyes and continued to circulate his spiritual energy. Many yellow spiritual energy strands flew out and gathered in Bei Wang's palm. A moment later, Bei Wang withdrew his hand and looked at the yellow spiritual energy. The corners of his mouth couldn't help but lift up. He quietly looked at Shimen Yinyue, who was looking for him, and smiled evilly. "Team leader Shimen, take your time playing." Bei Wang thought. His body turned into white smoke and disappeared. In front of him was only a desolate, rough piece of rock. At this moment, Yinyue walked and examined. Shimen Yinyue passed by but did not see Bei Wang at all. The corners of his mouth couldn't help but lift up, quietly looked at Shimen Yinyue, who was looking for him, and smiled evilly. "Team leader Shimen, take your time playing." Bei Wang thought. His body turned into white smoke and disappeared. In front of him was only a desolate, rough piece of rock. At this moment, Yinyue walked and examined the location of the pig demon, looking at the compass in her hand in surprise. What happened? The pig demon wasn't nearby. Could it be that the pig demon ate that kid and ran away? Yinyue recalled the loud noise in the mountain just now. His eyes were full of doubt. Moreover, the noise just now was so loud. Was it Yinyue thinking about this? Suddenly, footsteps sounded from behind. He turned around in fear and shouted, "Who is it?" Wu Shu led a group of Wu disciples to come, frowned and questioned Shimen Yinyue. "What are you doing here now?" Yinyue calmly replied, "I led my subordinates Zhu Bei Wang to the mountain to kill demons. Currently, I don't know where Zhu Bei Wang is. I'm searching," Yinyue said while secretly observing the group of people in front of her. They were members of Wu family, the Queen's family, looking at their appearance. Could it be something happened? As soon as Wu Shu heard this, he guessed. Zhu Bei Wang disappeared, that he is the person who stole things from the family. The essence that Wu Shiri had been searching for many years had just appeared and was nowhere to be found. He couldn't let others pick up the bargain. Wu Shu thought, and immediately turned around to order his subordinates to immediately find that Shu guy. Living must see people. Dead must see corpses. Early next morning, Wu Shu led people to Bei Wang's house, stood in front of the door, and loudly asked, "Shu Bei Wang." "Get out here!" Wu Shu shouted, and kicked Shu Bei Wang's gate with a loud bang. Bei Wang calmly went out to open the door and asked contemptuously, "What is it?" As soon as Wu Shu saw Bei Wang, he fiercely threatened, "You are Shu Bei Wang, right? Hand it over, or I will destroy your entire family." Wu Shu angrily looked at Bei Wang, and without asking clearly, he already guessed that Bei Wang had stolen something. "You went up the mountain in the middle of the night and ran back. Did you steal our Wu family's treasure? Do you have a ghost in your heart?" In contrast to Wu Shu's fierce and urgent expression, Bei Wang was still very calm. "I went up the mountain to pick mushrooms." Wu Shu was so angry that he trembled, pointed straight at Bei Wang's face and said, "You clearly broke into the Wu families, stole the essence. Hand it over immediately, or I will report to the Empress to destroy your entire family." Bei Wang touched his chin and pretended to be confused. "What did you say? I don't understand. I really just went to pick up mushrooms." Then Bei Wang suddenly smiled brightly and followed, pointed at the other party's nose and saying, "That's right. Actually, I didn't mean to go pick mushrooms. It was my superior who led me to catch a pig demon. I couldn't fight back, so I ran away. I ran and ran until I was hungry and saw a lot of mushrooms." Wu Shu heard these clumsy lies. His body trembled with anger. His eyes became red. He shouted, "Stop talking nonsense. Go inside and search. Dig 3 feet of soil, and you must find the essence." Wu Shu ordered his subordinates. He completely ignored Bei Wang. He fiercely bumped Bei Wang's shoulder and rushed into the house to search. Bei Wang only smiled faintly at the corner of his mouth and didn't stop Wu Shu. As soon as he entered the door, he discovered something was wrong. Suddenly, a giant hand from behind hit Wu Shu, who was completely unprepared. Only a miserable scream was heard. Wu Shu and the people who had just rushed in were immediately sent flying out of the main gate, blood spurting from their mouths. The subordinates around saw their young master fall down and hurriedly shouted, "Young master!" Bei Wang slowly walked to their side and coldly said, "Do you want to die?" At this moment, Bei Wang's parents heard the noise outside the door and rushed out. "Wang what happened?" The old master and his wife looked at the group of injured people in front of them in horror. Shu Jing looked at Wu Shu, lying motionless and spitting blood on the ground in horror, clearly having gone to see his ancestors. Isn't this the Empress's grandson? Isn't this the Empress's grandson? Bei Wang gently comforted the panicking mother. It's okay. This person barged into the palace without permission, according to Daqian law. Barging into another person's house without reason, the owner can kill on the spot without being guilty. But Bei Wang's parents couldn't be as calm as their son, who loudly blamed, "The law is the law. The Empress's power is so great that it cannot be underestimated. You killed her grandson. Will she forgive you?" At this moment, a white crane holding a scroll flew over. His mother hurriedly pulled Bei Wang to kneel. "Quickly kneel down." It was an imperial edict. Shu Jing was afraid that her son would be questioned. Her face paled. Shu Jing was afraid that her son would be questioned. Her face paled, her voice trembling as she called out, "Wang!" The yellow scroll opened in front of the three people. Bei Wang glanced over. The imperial edict came so quickly. Immediately after, a row of Eternal Mother pointed at it, accompanied by a loud shout. "Don't move!" All these sharp spears were pointed at Bei Wang. A man who looked like a military commander stepped in front of Bei Wang. Bei Wang smiled and turned around, saying to the crowd of people who were paying attention to the incident in front of the Zhu Palace gate, "I want to see if this big brother's family name is Gu or Wu." At the Heavenly Secret Pavilion, everyone gathered in front of a giant green stone, looking at the name that had just appeared, Shu Bei Wang, 15th on the Qingyun list. A buzz of discussion arose. Who is Shu Bei Wang? This name had never been on the list before. It was the young master of the Shu family. This morning, he had killed the Empress's nephew with one strike and was currently being escorted to prison. He was dead for sure. The Wu family and the Empress would not forgive him. At the same time, in the prison, the sound of heavy iron chains clanged and collided in the dark space. Minister of Justice Liu Dongfang sat on a chair and shouted at Bei Wang, "Shu Bei Wang, do you know your crime?" However, Shu Bei Wang did not show any weakness. On the contrary, he smiled and replied that someone had barged into my house without permission, and I was defending myself according to the law. If obeying the law Daqian is also a crime, then I have nothing more to say. Liu Dongfang was furious and retorted, "You are talking nonsense. It was obvious that you stole Wu family's essence first, but Bei Wang completely ignored Liu Dongfang's accusation, only glancing sarcastically. The main point now is not whether I am guilty of self-defense or not, but how should I be convicted, right? This has nothing to do with whether I have the essence or not. Don't get confused, and the slander of me stealing the essence is a private matter between me and Wu family. You must distinguish between public and private matters. This principle, Your Excellency should understand better than the subordinates, right?" Bei Wang finished speaking and looked straight at Liu Dongfang's face. Liu Dongfang truly. He really couldn't reply. He could only fiercely shout at the person. At this moment, a voice rang out from the prison. "The Empress has ordered the yellow scroll containing the Imperial edict to be opened. Wu Shu really barged into the civilian residence without permission. The crime deserves death. Shu Bei Wang is innocent. Release him." Although the Empress ordered Shu Bei Wang to be released, she was very unwilling in her heart. The reason why the Empress did so was because of what Bei Wang said before he was arrested. "Is this big brother surnamed Gu or Wu?" The Empress secretly gritted her teeth. "Shu Bei Wang, you smart brat. I remember you." Because of the Empress's imperial edict, Bei Wang was released. Everyone gathered in front of the door, and when they saw Bei Wang step out from the main gate, they immediately started talking excitedly. That is the young master of Shu family, and he actually came out alive. Didn't they say that the son of Shu family was born with an average aptitude and did nothing wrong? Was he a typical example of a prodigal son? Can those rumors be believed? He is ranked 15 on the Qingyun list. How could you know that he is so decisive and scheming? Bei Wang looked at the admiring eyes of the people around him. He felt strange in his heart. Did he hear wrong? Rank 15 on the Qingyun list. Before Bei Wang could think clearly, he heard someone calling his name loudly, "Shu Bei Wang." An old man wearing a hat suddenly rushed in front of Bei Wang, fiercely ordering, Immediately hand over the essence marrow. Bei Wang coldly looked at the old man, who suddenly appeared. Blandly asked, "Who are you? What is essence? I don't have any." This old man in front of me is Wu Shu's father, the Empress's older brother. Wu Chengshu lost all his patience upon hearing Bei Wang's answer, rushed forward, grabbed Bei Wang's collar and loudly reprimanded, "You stole the treasure of my Wu family, a heinous crime. Haven't you read the law? Then you should know what crime it is to steal a treasure." Bei Wang smiled. After laughing, he seriously pushed away the hand that was grabbing his collar, calmly opened his mouth. "Lord Wu convicted me too quickly. I don't understand. That essence is a spiritual object of heaven and earth. How can it become your Wu family's property?" Wu Chengshu gritted his teeth and pulled out a piece of yellow paper and said, "The search warrant is here. I obey the order to search your entire body. If you don't cooperate, it means you are opposing the court." Wu Chengshu thought to himself, "You stinking brat! Wait until I find the essence. I will definitely skin you and pull out your tendons to avenge my son." Bei Wang completely ignored Wu Chengshu, only thinking to himself, "It seems that in the queen's heart, the life of this grandchild is not important. What is important is still the essence. I told you, she will not forgive me easily." Wu Chengshu saw that Bei Wang was silent, thinking that Bei Wang was scared. He shouted loudly, "Will you pay in the end? I order the eldest princess to go up the mountain to search for the essence." The people standing by were so scared when they heard about the eldest princess. It was the eldest princess. Both the queen and the eldest princess were not easy to deal with. Wu Chengshu did not believe it. Raising that brat. Wu Chengshu did not believe it. Raising that brat. Why does the princess want you to do something? I obey the queen's orders to search Shu Mansion. Anyone who dares to obstruct will be punished for treason. If you can't find the essence, lock up the whole family. Bei Wang smiled and looked at the old man. At the slightest thing, you want to lock me up in prison. The power of the Wu family is so great that it cannot be compared. If you really want to force me to go, I have no way. But I must get the consent of the eldest princess first. Wu Chengshu completely ignored the order to the subordinates behind you. Capture this stinky brat for me. Let me see if he dares to oppose the court. Wu Chengshu didn't believe that the eldest princess would protect Bei Wang. He only thought that Bei Wang was using the eldest princess's reputation to threaten him. Both weak and pretentious. I despise you. I must torture an ant like you to death. Let my son smile in the afterlife. Bei Wang looked at the group of fierce people approaching in front of him, the corner of his mouth curled up in a smile. At this moment, a purple smoke emitted from the majestic eldest princess sitting on the chair, answering Wu Chengshu's question. If you dare, then what? The people around saw Jin Chang appear and hurriedly knelt down to salute. Greetings to the crown princess. Even Wu Chengshu, who was kowtowing, was secretly surprised by the crown princess's deity. She personally appeared for this lowly man? Jin Chang's face darkened. This palace did something. That violated the imperial court. What can you do? Wu Chengshu carefully replied to the eldest princess, This is the private matter of Wu family. It is the empress's will. Jin Chang was unhappy, immediately slapped Wu Chengshu. He was caught off guard and immediately spat blood and fell to the ground. Bei Wang immediately turned around and reported to Jin Chang, Your Highness! The essence marrow born from the spiritual energy of heaven and earth is an ownerless spirit. Not all of it belongs to Wu family. Bei Wang secretly thought that the eldest princess had never helped others handle this kind of matter. But with just her own strength, she had made Wu family and the empress lose all face. He also thought that Wu Shu could leisurely walk out of the prison. That was her ability. Of course, she was not afraid of the empress's faction oppressing her. Jin Chang opened his mouth to provoke, Wu family, if you want Tin Shui with the ability, come to me and get it. Wu Chengshu was helped up by the people around him. While being on guard against Jin Chang, he thought to himself, the fifth Jin Chang is extremely powerful. Right now, even the empress cannot be sure that she can deal with her. It can only be that temporary patience. This road is still long, Bei Wang sneered. Lord Wu, the story of the essence is left to me, helpless. Wu Chengshu angrily shouted, You wait! Bei Wang provoked, If Wu family wants revenge, it is to confront the crown princess. Think carefully. After speaking, Bei Wang left, leaving behind a few people from Wu family, holding a stomach full of anger. Bei Wang felt, they are really clowns. At the intersection of the Light Palace, Jin Chang praised, "You did very well." Then she rewarded Bei Wang with a golden token. Bei Wang accepted it and thanked her. He secretly rejoiced in his heart and continued to strive to upgrade to the purple token. I must hug this big thigh tightly and not let go. Then Bei Wang summoned the essence and presented it to Jin Chang. "This is the gift this humble person offers to you," she asked doubtfully. "You really gave me this essence?" Bei Wang immediately replied, "It's just a little essence. This little one is willing to sacrifice himself for your highness. Wherever your highness points, this little one will hit." Jin Chang took off the needle on his head and smiled, said, "You are truly a flatterer." She gave the needle to Bei Wang and assured him that she would not let him suffer any loss. Bei Wang took the hairpin, sighing in his heart. Just one hairpin is already a holy treasure. As expected of the strongest female villain, Jin Chang took the essence and said that with this essence, only half is enough. "Tell me, what reward do you want this time?" Bei Wang replied that I still don't have an item to declare myself. Before he could finish speaking, Jin Chang had already given him a female-style ring with the word item. Bei Wang stammered, "Your Highness, my thing is a bit big." Jin Chang impatiently said, "Why are you so talkative?" Bei Wang immediately replied that I don't dare to say much. Then he put on the ring, praising it. "It can be long or short, big or small, it is indeed a treasure." Bei Wang was admiring it when he discovered that it was filled with medicinal pills and said in surprise, "The medicinal pills inside are—" Jin Chang said that he would reward everyone. Bei Wang immediately thanked her. Then this little one would not bother you anymore. He secretly thought that following such a generous boss, how could this little brother refuse? At Liu Shanmen, Bei Wang walked while thinking that he had already obtained quite a few treasures and should also advance straight to the 8th rank, but his foundation was still not solid. If he kept chasing progress, he would not be able to digest too much. If he did not do well, he would zurn into a pile of stinky tofu. Therefore, he had to suppress the increase in his realm. As soon as he entered the room, Bei Wang met Lu Ping. The Liu Shanmen Lu Ping commander stood up as soon as he saw Bei Wang. "You are finally back." Bei Wang immediately respectfully paid his respects to the commander. Worried, he thought, what is he doing here? Lu Ping bowed slightly in response. "No need for formalities. Now you have reached the Qingyun Bang and can fight alone. Do you want to be the team leader?" Bei Wang thought to himself. "Especially to promote me, is there such a good thing?" Bei Wang politely refused. His subordinate's management ability is not very good. He cannot be a team leader. He is afraid of disappointing the commander's expectations. Bei Wang thought unhappily. "Don't talk about little team leader. I don't even want to do the internal affairs of the capitals. Isn't it fun to have time to look for some luck?" Lu Ping saw him refuse like that and said, "Well, next month is the martial arts conference. Now you also have a place on the Qingyun board. Lead the team to maintain order. Bei Wang immediately." "Yes, sir." Lu Ping nodded. "I have high expectations for you." Bei Wang immediately escorted Lu Ping back to the palace. "Farewell, great commander." As soon as Lu Ping left, Bei Wang immediately thought, the martial arts convention is held once a year. All the great sects will send people to participate. As long as we meet a few useless people, it doesn't seem to be a loss. Let alone this kind of show-off, how can we lack the figure of Ye Tian? This son of destiny's chives, perhaps the time has come to ripen. Bei Wang has climbed to 15th place on the Qingyun list. Even the great commander personally came here. He doesn't believe that this list is full of powerful elders. There will definitely be a few lazy great oxen unless there is a heavenly Tao opportunity. Bei Wang excitedly thought, next year is when the heavenly secret palace will activate the heavenly Shu. At that time, the great elders will gather. Whether I can ascend to heaven in one step or not depends on this time. Suddenly, his servant spoke outside. "Young Master Shu, someone said that your friend wanted to see you." Bei Wang opened the door and thought, Friend? Do I have a friend? Who is it? Where is he from? Turns out it's Liu Dongfang. As soon as he saw Shu Wang, he excitedly called out, "Young Master Shu!" Then he hurriedly introduced, "I am Liu Dongfang. Do you remember?" "That inkstone." Shu Wang smiled. "Of course I remember. You chased that inkstone all the way here?" Liu Dongfang immediately explained to Shu Wang the reason he came here. "I came to ask for your help. Young Master Shu has a very high position on the Azure Cloud list. I saw the picture on the Azure Cloud list and realized, before, I had eyes but could not see Mount Tai." Shu Wang immediately said, "I have to see if I have time." Although I said that, in my heart I thought, who would waste time on unimportant people? Then Liu Dongfang immediately said loudly, "The matter is urgent. There is a group of tomb raiders who want to dig up my ancestral grave in the suburbs. I really have no choice but to shamelessly come and ask you. I absolutely will not let you help for free. There will be a reward." Shu Wang heard and coldly replied, "Is that so? Are you not happy? Who is eager for you to repay? Do you think Lao Shu has never seen the world? Quickly chase him away and it will be done." Suddenly, Shu Wang noticed something. It turned out that Liu Dongfang's luck was very high as 98. Shu Wang immediately changed his expression, walked over and said, "You are my brother. Since you have asked, I absolutely will not refuse." Liu Dongfang heard and was very grateful. Then Shu Wang told Liu Dongfang to wait for him at the city gate at Tuat hour. Liu Dongfang just left. Liu Dongfang just left. Shu Wang worriedly thought, although the opportunity is charming, but he himself has just made enemies with Wu family. At the foot of the emperor under pressure from all sides, how can Wu family hold back? Once I leave the capital, they might attack. While advancing and retreating in the south, Shu Wang thought of Yu eunuch. He smugly thought, "I have a way. Even with money, I can make the devil push the millstone." A moment later, Shu Wang and Liu Dongfang rode out of the city. At the same time, a man was looking down on them from above, making the empress embarrassed. "Killing Wu family bastard, you still dare to leave the city?" It turns out that he is a member of Wu family. He looked at Shu Wang with hatred. "As long as you live for a day, Wu family will not be able to wash away this shame." At night, in the woods, there were several tomb robbers happily chatting. "Looks like we can find a treasure tonight. What's the rush? They're all deserted graves with no descendants." Shu Wang, hiding behind the bushes, found it strange and immediately asked Liu Dongfang, "Isn't this your family's ancestral grave?" He fearfully replied, "Shu brother, I lied. This isn't my family's grave." Then Liu Dongfang carefully explained, "The owner of this grave when he was alive was an 8th-rank martial artist, leaving us all alone without descendants. I thought that maybe there were burial objects in the grave, so I became greedy. Who would have thought that those tomb robbers would also target this place? They're either 8th rank or 9th rank. I can't fight them." Shu Wang reluctantly asked, "What do you want to do in the end?" Liu Dongfang cried and replied, "I'm incompetent. Until now, I'm still only at the Qi refining realm. Everyone looks down on me. I beg you, big brother, help me. All the best treasures in the grave are for you." Suddenly the tomb robbers shouted, "Who is there? Get out!" The two saw that they could not hide anymore and had to stand up. Shu Wang smiled and said, "What a coincidence. We have accomplices." Those guys laughed and said, "Just two brats dare to come and rob us?" After saying that, they immediately rushed towards the two people and shouted, "Die!" Wang coldly laughed and told them, "Get lost." Then he used all his spiritual power to form a circle. Those people immediately died. Liu Dongfang was surprised to see this. He had killed all these people with one move. Brother Shu is truly fragrant beyond belief. Shu Wang saw him still standing there in a daze and urged him, "Quickly enter the tomb." After saying that, the two opened the tomb door. Liu Dongfang followed Shu Wang inside. As soon as Liu Dongfang saw the coffin, he cried out, "My treasure." Shu Wang felt as if the treasures of the great opportunity were all in this coffin. The two opened it, and inside were all gold, silver, and jewels. Liu Dongfang immediately said, "Brother Shu, I said I would reward you, so I won't go back on my word. You can choose these things as you like." Shu Wang was wondering which treasure was the great opportunity, or if they were all great opportunity. He let Liu Dongfang look at the treasure first, and Liu Dongfang enthusiastically agreed, said, "This is the King Tran sword technique." Liu Dongfang turned around and said to Shu Wang, "Brother Shu, this is a mid-grade profound rank. With this sword technique in hand, becoming a sword immortal is no longer a dream. Here it is for you." Shu Wang immediately refused, saying that this sword technique is very suitable for you. You can keep it and use it. He saw that the luck tower had not changed and guessed, this is useless. Liu Dongfang was extremely moved. When he saw that Shu Wang was giving it to him and said, "Brother Shu, you are even better to me than my father." Liu Dongfang took out another shield, Shu Wang felt that it was not what he needed, so he gave it to Liu Dongfang and said, "This is a defensive shield, I don't need to keep it." Liu Dongfang was moved and said that Shu Gongshu's kindness, I can't repay it even if I work like a horse. Liu Dongfang took out another pile of gold coins and said, "But if Brother Shu only took these ordinary items, I wouldn't be able to sleep." Shu Wang saw that the fortune tower still didn't change and felt a little depressed. Thinking that these things weren't right, what the hell was it? Then Shu Wang noticed an item. He looked over and found a strange piece of leather, so he picked it up and said to Liu Dongfang, "To help you sleep well, I'll take this." Liu Dongfang was moved when he saw this. He hugged Shu Wang's leg and said, "Brother Shu again treats treasures like trash. I feel ashamed. From now on, I'm willing to follow Brother Shu's orders. Please take me in." Shu Wang saw that the fortune tower had decreased and was happy. He had completely given up on Kodu Yin, so the fortune tower was so dim. It seemed like he had made the right bet. Shu Wang patted Liu Dongfang's shoulder and said, "Don't be like that." In fact, in the Jiangho, struggling and rolling around, it is easier to have a chance. At that time, people can come to me for help. Liu Dongfang followed Shu Wang out and said, "Brother Shu, Dai, I will try to cultivate and find a chance." Liu Dongfang bowed his head and said loudly, "Sooner or later, I will be able to repay Brother Shu." Shu Wang agreed and said, "Good, let's say goodbye here. Wait until we have a chance to meet again." He looked at Liu Dongfang's back as he walked away and muttered, "Rest assured, with such an appointment, I will definitely not forget you." Shu Wang waited for Liu Dongfang to go far away and immediately opened the goatskin. Seeing that there were no words inside, he was very surprised and thought to himself, maybe I should try it. He gathered spiritual energy and transferred it to the goatskin. On the skin appeared the words, "Northern Ming blood devouring divine art." This cultivation method is very dangerous. One must be careful. Shu Wang secretly thought that the air was placed in the right place. It turned out that one had to transfer true energy to see this cultivation method. This technique was to devour the essence blood of others to train the physical body's magic. Cultivating to the 3rd level would enable one to become a warrior with full defensive equipment. Shu Wang was shocked, his mouth wide open. At the 5th level, he would upgrade his counterattack skill. No matter how many people attacked, he could bounce back. Shu Wang continued reading until the 6th level, the physical body surpassed. The pig heaven, killing a god with one punch. He felt that this was too exaggerated. Surpassing the heavens, killing a god with one punch. Did the 9 provinces continent have something so powerful? It wasn't that the Qi Tower still proved that this was a treasure. He also just regarded it as a pile of words. Shu Wang pondered whether he should cultivate it or not. Devour the essence blood of others. Then Shu Wang firmly thought, if he missed this opportunity, he wouldn't meet again. He'd still do it. After that, Shu Wang immediately transferred his true energy. He felt that first he had to probe the situation. As soon as Shu Wang transferred his true energy, there was a thunderclap. He was surprised and thought that it was a cloud tribulation. There was a lightning tribulation, and thunder and lightning were constantly attacking. Shu Wang realized that this kind of cultivation method was not ordinary, so the heavens did not allow it. Although this cultivation method was not bragging, but I am only an 8th rank and cannot withstand this lightning tribulation. Suddenly, an old man with the surname Wu appeared and shouted loudly, "Little bastard, your day of death has come." Shu Wang said with caution. You are a third-rank Wu family member. If you cannot defeat me, you must quickly send a signal and call Yu eunuch. The old man said proudly. This old man has spent several hours and did not hesitate to use a forbidden spell to seal this mountain. Now on this mountain, no signal can be transmitted outside. After saying that, he shouted loudly, Now that lowly fifth-class woman gives you any card, just use it. This old man allows you to stall for time. Shu Wang felt that this time was really dangerous. Suddenly, the old man threw a rock at him to vent his anger and angrily scolded Shu Wang. You stinky brat, you dare to kill the descendants of Wu family, you hit Wu family in the face. I won't let you easily. I will slowly torture you, making your life worse than death. Shu Wang immediately took out the goat skin and said cautiously, Senior, show mercy. I can let you advance to the Nirvana realm. The old man looked at him with slight hesitation. Shu Wang held the paper in his hand and said worriedly, No, I really have a way. This is something that the princess sent evil to find. The old man immediately snatched the paper. Give it here. He carefully observed, The fifth slut Jin Chang can take a fancy to all the treasures. At this moment, he glanced at the paper. Brat! You believe in this kind of trashy cultivation method? Shu Wang waved his hand and denied, I don't know. This is what the crown princess gave me. The old man seemed to have discovered many mysterious secrets and said, It's mine now, I'll snatch it and see what that stinky woman will do. He started to transfer his true energy into the paper. A string of ancient texts appeared on the paper. The old man was slightly surprised. The entire space was covered by a stream of yin energy. What a thunder tribulation. Shu Wang immediately wanted to run away. Idiot! You fooled me, right? Get away quickly. Don't drag me into the lightning tribulation. The old man seemed to have discovered something. The brat wanted to run. The lightning tribulation became more and more intense. It was ruined. He tried his best to resist, risking his life. The thunder double became stronger and stronger, making him unable to resist. On this side, Shu Wang had already escaped the lightning tribulation. This lightning tribulation came really fast. I wonder if he has passed it yet. When Shu Wang turned back to check, he saw the old man lying on the ground. Failure also made me feel more relieved. Shu Wang smiled. In the next life, remember to bring your brain with you. I have to see if this skin has changed. The words on it appeared once more. Shu Wang excitedly said, This great enmity seed, if there are a few more names, I won't mind too much. He clasped his hands, gathered his spiritual power, and immediately used his spiritual power to open the museum. Try it first. Shu Wang closed his eyes and felt. It seemed like everything had changed, so he opened his eyes. Success. To be safe, let's practice until here. Shu Wang held the sword and danced a few times. People usually use their teeth to cut their teeth. I will take you back to the capital. Demand justice for Wu family. Early next morning, they returned to the capital. Suddenly, someone used a stick to hit Deng Wenji. All the common people immediately gathered. It's Mr. Shu. Why did he hit Deng Wenji? It's him again. Does he want everyone to gossip? Shu Wang resolutely beat the drum. Your Majesty, I have been wronged. Wu Chengshu angrily stepped out. Shu Wang, are you deliberately causing trouble? You even dare to beat the drum to recite ancient texts. What else do you not dare to do? But at this moment, Shu Wang calmly replied, I have been wronged. I only ask for justice. Wu Chengshu still shouted at him, What wrong do you have? Now the country is peaceful and the people are safe. The world is peaceful and prosperous. Are you talking nonsense to defame the court? At this moment, a shrill voice rang out. The queen has arrived! The shadow of a woman sitting in a flower palanquin appeared. This was the Queen Wu Zhao. Everyone saluted. Greetings to the queen. She immediately opened her mouth. This palace exercises power on behalf of your majesty. When the Deng Wenji sounds, it must be handled, but the Deng Wenji must be related to the great affairs of the country. The case is unjust and tragic. If you beat the drum without permission, you will be severely punished. Shu Wang was still very calm, stepping forward. Your Majesty, I am truly wronged. Wu Zhao carefully observed. Speak, I will clear your name. Immediately, Shu Wang placed a large bag on the ground. Your Majesty, I offer you the items below. There was a fishy smell. She frowned and replied, It's fine. This brat is playing tricks again. Shu Wang slowly stepped forward, opened the bag, revealing a human head. At this moment, Wu Chengshu trembled non-stop. A dignified third-rank grandmaster actually died in the hands of this brat. Shu Wang continued to explain, Your Majesty, I am a police officer of Lushan Men. Last night, I followed orders to go out of the city to capture the bandits, but unexpectedly, I encountered a killer on the way. He claimed to be a grandmaster with the surname Vu and came to seek revenge. Shu Wang's gaze immediately turned towards the queen. Wu Shu barged into the civilian residence without permission. I was defending myself properly. Now I still ask for forgiveness. As for the crystal mine, I don't know why Wu family wants to kill me. Wu Zhao frowned unhappily. This stinking brat is deliberately pretending. Shu Wang was still acting a perfect act. Therefore, I beg your highness to make a decision for me. Wu Chengshu was angry. He couldn't help but step forward. Shu Wang, what makes you say he is from the Wu family? You are slandering me again. Immediately, Shu Wang changed his attitude. Isn't that right? Doesn't the national uncle know better? How about this? Invite the magician of the Astronomical Bureau to come and identify him. If he is not from Wu family, I will let him be torn apart by 5 horses. Wu Chengshu couldn't refute. He was filled with anger. You! The common people outside were gossiping. Young Master Shu has made a big deal out of it. He clearly has backers. Shut up. Don't talk nonsense in front of the queen. Wu Zhao avoided eye contact at this time. Tell me, what do you want? Shu Wang answered without hesitation. Actually, the so-called grudges all stem from killing Wu Shu. That's why Wu, the Imperial brother-in-law, hates me. How about this? Now National Duke and I sign a life and death contract so that the grudges will disappear on the competition stage. Shu Wang's eyes became especially determined. Your Majesty, isn't this request too much? The common people outside also showed indignation. Has young Master Shu gone crazy? He is a 5th-rank realm, and yet he wants to fight to the death with an 8th-rank realm. Isn't this taking the initiative to offer his neck for Wu family to cut off? He is the Imperial uncle. Just throwing out a magic weapon can kill him. However, Shu Wang was still very relaxed. If your highness has no objections, then let's sign it now. Wu Chengshu's eyes were filled with displeasure. This brat has always been full of schemes and tricks. Now that he is acting arrogantly towards me in front of everyone, he must have a trick up his sleeve. Shu Wang was still provoking. Are you going to sign it or not? You can kill me openly and honestly. But at this moment, Wu Chengshu showed the opposite expression. What right do I have to sign that damn contract? Wu Zhou's eyes were filled with judgment. A technical book is nothing more than a sign. Are you already that scared? Wu Chengshu's face was gloomy and silent. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Shu Wang immediately stepped forward. Imperial uncle, I gave you a chance, but you didn't know how to cherish it. You don't dare to act openly, but you're good at acting secretly, right? Wu Chengshu was so angry that he couldn't bear it. I just don't want to bully the weak. It seemed like he couldn't let everyone continue to drag on. Wu Zhao opened his mouth. Enough! I will give you justice. Follow me. Shu Wang immediately changed his attitude. Many thanks, Your Majesty. Suddenly, Wu Zhao narrowed her eyes. She imagined the image of the crown princess. This brat is the confidant of that slutty 5th Jinchang. If he wants to use an excuse to cause trouble, the balance that the imperial court is currently trying to maintain might be broken. This brat wants to seek justice, unless it is compensation. At this time, she cannot give other the opportunity to use an excuse to cause trouble. The common people outside are still gossiping. This brat's methods are quite formidable. You guys say the Empress directly killed him? No wonder the Crown Princess values him so much. He is truly a copy of the Crown Princess 10 years ago. The princess first entered the court, and from then on, called the Huanwu Wind. She felt that this brat could do it too. After a long while returning to the imperial palace, Wu Zhao's voice rang out. I know your grievances clearly. Wu Zhao sat proudly on the phoenix throne. Just say whatever you want. I will make your request as you wish. Wu Zhao sat proudly on, but did not hesitate to state his compensation request. 5 bottles of elite third-grade blood essence, 1 original poisonous tribulus terrestris, and a 9 curved spirit ginseng. Shu Wang was very straightforward. Your Majesty is so straightforward, I don't need to hide it anymore. Wu Zhao immediately fell into a passive position. This brat dares to blackmail. He really doesn't respect the queen. Wu family lost a grandmaster and they still have to compensate him like a body-refining treasure? Wu Zhao pressed forward. Shu Wang dares to be so arrogant. Do you think I really don't dare to kill you? However, Shu Wang was still not afraid at all. Your Majesty is doing this. I will sit back and wait for death. Wu Zhao immediately let go. Shu Wang thought to himself that you all want to kill me. I can't let people bleed. How could you know what suffering is? Furthermore, I have no support. I am not afraid of you. Moreover, this empress has been blinded by power and ambition. Ambition is burning. Normally, such people would especially like to show off for the sake of power and influence. Wu Zhao suddenly opened his mouth. So greedy at such a young age. Shu Wang was not easy to bully either, immediately replied, Your Majesty, originally an ownerless thing, but was said by Wu, the imperial brother-in-law, belonged to the Wu family, and the thing a commoner chose is not considered precious. How can it be said to be greedy? Wu Zhao immediately retorted, Apart from elite blood essence, the other things you requested are all earth-grade body-refining resources, not a small appetite. Shu Wang immediately fell into deep thought. If it weren't for that unlucky guy resisting the lightning tribulation, I would have lost my life long ago. Is it too much to just ask for a little compensation now? If I had the ability, would I still need to bargain with you? I would have killed your entire Wu family this morning. However, Wu Zhao's attitude suddenly changed. He turned around and left. I will satisfy your greed. You can leave. Shu Wang respectfully said, Your Majesty is generous and magnanimous. I was moved to tears. Returning to Shu Mansion, Shu Wang's parents worriedly asked, Wang that was the third-rank grandmaster sent by Wu family. Were you injured? Wang you must be a little more modest in your actions in the future. The power behind the Wu family is complex and powerful. The Empress secretly nurtures quite a few claws. Shu Wang turned to. Shu Wang's mother also stepped forward and asked, Tell me the truth. Is the crown princess really trustworthy? How did that third-rank grandmaster die? Could it be that, like everyone said, the princess arranged someone to escort you? Shu Wang immediately smiled. Don't worry, Mom. When the enemy comes, you want to hit me because you want this effect. It's like renting a luxury car to pick up girls. Whether you have money or not is not important. The girls think that they have money. That's enough. The Wu family now thinks that they have a big boss by their side. Sending someone to protect will not easily take action anymore. Suddenly, a voice came from outside. Young master, someone from Wu family wants to see you. Shu Wang calmly said, Father and mother, I'll go out and see. Father and mother, I'll go out and see what's going on. Rest assured they won't dare to do anything to you. At this moment, a hand-tied voice came. Shu Wang! Suddenly feeling confused. Is this the thing the Empress ordered you to bring? The expression of the Wu family immediately changed. How did my younger brother die? Shu Wang remained calm. He was struck to death by lightning. The other person shouted loudly, Nonsense! Tell me who killed my younger brother. But Shu Wang still insisted that, I don't believe that your younger brother was struck to death by a heavenly lightning. The old man shouted loudly at the stinking brat. Shu Wang was still calm. What is it? The Empress sent you here to threaten me? That person immediately threw the box on the ground. That brat. I will make you pay 100 times sooner or later. After that person left. Shu Wang was still very happy, other than saying a few angry and boastful words. What else can you do? He picked up the box on the ground, immediately checked the items inside. These are all body-refining treasures. I was born in rich, now I am even richer. This time we will see how powerful the northern darkness blood-devouring divine art is. Half a month later, the entire sky was covered in blood red. Everyone was terrified. Young Master Shu is cultivating a demonic art. The blood-red killing intent is too terrifying. I heard that the treasures the Empress has bestowed are mostly of the earth grade. Young Master Shu must be an outstanding and brave figure of the 9 provinces. Shen Oyi was also observing from the side. Seeing the strange phenomenon of the proud and talented, everyone had to submit to him. What exactly did Shu Wang want to do? Why was he completely different from what his father said? He looked like a prodigal son, but he had a spirit, was not afraid of anyone, and had a calmness that made people suffocate. Yi walked step by step. She was suddenly startled by a voice. "What are you doing here?" Shu Wang didn't know when he had appeared behind her. Yi suddenly fell silent. Could it be that Shu Wang suddenly asked, "Want to kill me?" His expression was extremely scary. Yi suddenly fell silent. Could it be that Shu Wang suddenly asked, "Want to kill me?" His expression was extremely scary, pretending like that all day long. "Aren't you tired? Don't worry. In my eyes, you and the prostitutes in the brothel are the same." Ouya immediately wanted to grab the Thandao in his hand. She used all her strength to rush forward. "You bastard!" Yi raised her sword and stabbed at Shu Wang. Suddenly, Shu Wang laughed. "That's right. Use a little more strength. Wait, Aoyi's still struggling for a while. How could it be like this? Can't stab and the knife is still intact outside." Yi is full of anger, always has an arrogant look, doesn't look at anyone. I also hate people, but it seems like there is still no change. My true energy has disappeared. Shen Yi widened his eyes to observe. Why is this happening?